Okay, dear Year 6 students, welcome to our English session back again. Today, our session is going to be a real interactive session where everyone should be included and participating and activating his knowledge and his brain with me. Today, we are going to study our first poem, and we are going to use the learner's book to do so. I would appreciate if you all, before we start ahead our explanation, that you open your book, Unit 7, page 98. Unit 7, page 98. Um, we are going to start discussing and analyzing poems. Last time we had the introduction. We explained the notes and the elements and the important notes that you have or you should know before you start acting, writing, reading, and analyzing any poem. Today we are going to study the poem called Silver, written by the English poet Walter de la Mare. I'll leave you for a while with the video. The video is the poem itself, narrated. Listen to it, read it while you're listening. I would like you to follow the rhythm, the rhyme, the tone of the speaker and the narrator while he's saying the poem. Um, Try to live with the poem. In the same time, underline and highlight the words that you do not know and you do not understand, as this is going to be discussed in the or during the session. So I'm giving you 10 seconds to prepare yourself, get ready with the papers and books and everything. Okay, now I guess that you have opened your book on page 98. The same poem that is written in the book is the same one that you are going to listen to on the video. Make sure you move line by line with the speaker. I'll leave you there.
Silver by Walter de la Mare. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael. Slowly, silently, now the moon walks the night in her silver shoon. This way and that she peers and sees silver fruit upon silver trees. One by one the casements catch her beams beneath the silvery thatch. Couched in his kennel like a log, with paws of silver sleeps the dog. From their shadowy cot the white breasts peep of doves in silver feathered sleep. A harvest mouse goes scampering by, with silver claws and a silver eye, and moveless fish in the water gleam by silver reeds in a silver stream. LibriVox.org by Michael. Slowly, silently, now the moon walks the night in her silver shoon. This way and that she peers and sees silver fruit upon silver trees. One by one the casements catch her beams beneath the silvery thatch. Couched in his kennel like a log, with paws of silver sleeps the dog. From their shadowy cot the white breasts peep of doves in silver feathered sleep. A harvest mouse goes scampering by, with silver claws and a silver eye, and moveless fish in the water gleam by silver reeds in a silver stream.
Okay, that is it. That is the poem. Now, I hope that while you were listening, that you have highlighted few words that you don't understand. Let's follow together the introduction. Let's go by the book and see what we do need to know about the writer or about the poem. One of the main objectives that you are going to have by the end of the session, you'll be able to read and interpret poems. Interpret means to explain poems. You should understand that when a poem is written, will make difference to how we understand it today. In other words, the way the writer wrote it is somehow different than the way we look at things today. We will read and see. Silver was written by the English poet Walter de la Mare, who lived from 1873 to 1956. Make sure you highlight notes, please. That is going to help you understand things easier. Some of the words in the poem are not words we would use today. Some of the words used are not words we use today. The term given to these words, the words that we don't use today, is called archaic. 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 So archaic, they are the group of words that are used in poems, but we no longer use them nowadays. So archaic means the words that we are no longer using nowadays. I would appreciate if you have your own copybook for dictionary that you write the word and the definition, as I'm going to check this by the end of the term, by the end of the coming 4 or 5 weeks. Read the poem aloud, emphasizing the words underlined. Emphasizing the words underlined means to stress on them, as happened in the video. Now, before we start reading, I would like you to silently look at the poem again with your eyes. Try to find the rhyming scheme of the poem. Try to find the rhyming scheme of the poem. The same one as we did in the homework, which is A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. So try to find the rhyming scheme of the poem. Don't tell me, don't try the answer, don't do anything. Just think of it. Just think of it. And this will be discussed by the end of the session, but do it now for a few seconds. So, slowly, silently, now the moon, this is our main topic, the moon, walks the night in her silver shoon. The writer here is comparing the moon, or actually not comparing, he is giving the moon an advantage, a quality of a human being, which is walks. Also, he's adding in her silver shoon, he's giving extra advantage or quality of human being, that is wearing a shoe. Now, I would appreciate that you highlight these words and especially the color silver. You gotta mean it again and again and again. Now, since the moon is walking, they walk where? In a way, a road, this way and that. It means one way or two ways. Yes, two ways, two roads, this way and that, which means it's not available one area. So again, when we say this way and that way, it means that it's moving everywhere. It's not only moving one way. This way and that. She peers and sees. What is the meaning of she peers and sees? She peers and sees. Peer. Peer. Huh? She peers and sees. That is right, as you suggested. Look carefully. She peers and sees because of the natural quality of seeing that is given to a human being. So here in line 3, we also do have another personification. So we will be highlighting personifications in red. Also peer. So now the moon has eyes and they peer and see. They see what and they peer what? Silver fruit upon silver trees. Okay, now this is a question. Are there really silver fruits and silver trees? Is this available in nature? Do we have silver trees, silver moons, and so on? Or we do not. Yes, we do not have silver trees. We do not have silver fruit. So why is he using such expression? Why is he using such colors? Till now we have silver shoe, we have silver fruit, we have silver trees. What does the color silver represent here? The color silver, it represents what? The color of what? Let's think. Let's think. I guess you got it right. Yes, the moon, the light of the moon. Right. Now, before we go and complete, before we proceed to line 5, if everything till now is covered in silver, 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 this means what? This shows what? Doesn't this give you a hint to the atmosphere, to the environment surrounding? What is the atmosphere here? Yes, it is night, sure, but it gives another more impression. What is the writer's main concern from all this poem? The moon. And here, is the moon dominating and controlling or not? Yes. That's why it sheds all of its light over everything. The matter that when night came, the only light that is available is the moon. Now let me ask you another thing. We will go over inference reading. Yes, the moon is full, that's right, but we will go into inference reading. Inference reading means, from the 4 lines you have read, does this tell you that this area is inhabited with people? Does it say it's inhabited with people? No, right? Why no? Can you guess? Because if the only controlling light is the silver light of the moon, it means it's very, very strong. It means it's the only light available in a big area of space. There is no other lights merging together with. There is no bulb's light, there is no lamp, there is no fire light, there is nothing around. So this area, the writer is just describing a free, empty space that has no living person inside. Or if there is, that would be a very natural place that even they are not using electricity in. There is no light. That's very natural. Let's move on and see. One by one, the casements catch. One by one, the casements catch. What does this mean? The casements. Go to the glossary. Windows. Windows. The windows catch. Her beams beneath the silvery thatch. Her beams beneath the silvery thatch. What is the meaning of beams? Beams, they are the rays. The light comes from the sun or moon, right? Beams. Now, he said her. Isn't this kind of personification as well? It is. Because he used a human pronoun. At the beginning, he said her silver, now her beams. And he's dealing with the moon as a human female. Now, let me ask you, if he's dealing with the moon as a human female, it means this picture or the image of the moon in his eyes, beautiful or ugly? Beautiful or ugly? Very beautiful, that's right, yes. So the atmosphere here, do you think it is sad? No, that's right. Yes. So he deals with the moon as her, as a female. Usually all of us, when we look at the moon at night, wow, look at the moon, it's beautiful. It is really nice. It's really a full moon. Oh my God. That what happens. So he admires the moon as a female human. that would never be a sad image at all. So the atmosphere here is not sad. Never ever. Great. So now one by one, the casements catch. Casements, we said the windows. Her beams beneath the silvery thatch. What is the meaning of silvery thatch? If you move down as well, thatch means roof made of straw. Roof made of straw. This confirms the idea that I was just saying a little bit. What was it? I was telling you that the place, let me explain it to you, for example, that there is a house, and that is the thatch. But all this roof is made of straw. So this is very basic. This is very natural, not a modern life. So this roof is very, very, very basic. It's not professionally made, which means that it is more natural. Which means that even if there are people living inside, they wouldn't be that advanced using lots of technology, right? Now, what happened? Through these windows, he said that there are casements, windows, for example. Through these windows, the beams, here is the moon. The light is coming down. Since there is a roof, the light will go through the straw. It falls on the windows. When it's falling on the windows, it goes down like silvery thatch. It turned the color of the straw into silver. And it went through the straws. That makes the effect down through the light. That's easily and quickly the image. One of your friends suggesting that there are people, Mahmoud, there are people windows mean people, window and roof means people. Yes, that's right. That's what we said. I said there are people, but this means they are living a basic life, a very natural life. They're not using such technology. The matter that he even didn't reflect or talk about any electricity. For example, try to compare it to your life if you're living in a village and you're living in a city. I know that many of us have traveled at least once or twice to their villages, to their grandpas and mas and these things. If you travel there once, the entrance of the village, most of the village, the entrance is just quiet area. By both sides, there are farms everywhere, and there are few houses in the middle of the farms. Compare it to the entrance of Tanta city, for example, the city of Tanta, very, very busy. So where would you find the moon more dominating and controlling? Huh? From the two images I gave you. Sure, in the village. Why? Not because there are no people. There are few people. There are few houses, and such as a result, electricity is not controlling. So the more the less people are living in an area, the more the moon will be more controlling and dominating. Okay, great. Then, after the silvery thatch, couch in his kennel, like a log. Couched in his kennel, like a log. What is the meaning of couched? Couched. Couched comes from the word couch. We know the couch, the sofa. So couched means laying in a comfortable way, sleeping with your hands and your legs down to the ground in his kennel. Oh, kennel? I'm sorry, mister. The word kennel is not something for humans, right? Yes. Do you remember or can you imagine what is a kennel? Kennel? Kennel is the shelter made for dogs. Kennel is the shelter or the house that is made for dogs. So now we are talking about what? We're talking about a dog. Couch in his kennel Like a log. Wow, that's another device. Figurative language. Like a log. What kind of figurative speech is it? Huh? A simile. Great. That is right. How we know that it's simile? Using like. So till now, I have personifications in walks, hears, here, peers, sees, and we have a simile in like a log. Please make sure you write the letter P for personification, S for simile. With pose of silver sleeps the dog. With pose of silver sleeps the dog. Now, pose of silver, this also shows what? That the moon is still controlling. Even the beams entered the canal of the dog. But 1 minute, is it really has entered, or did it really enter the house or the kennel of the dog, or it's just laying the beams outside? I guess it's outside. How? Because it only made the light over the pose of silver of the dog. The pose means his toes and his hands outside. Usually when a dog sleeps, when the dog sleeps, the paws are outside the kennel. That's the part that the moon can cover. From their shadowy coat. The shadowy coat. What is the meaning of shadowy coat? Coat is the small shelter for doves. Now, do you know the doves? Who knows the doves? Doves. Rarely people know it. Okay, tell me, explain it. For those who might not know, it's a duck. No, never. These are the doves. Sorry. These are the doves. They're kind of small birds. Now, I want you to look at the picture. Look at the picture and follow me in the book for a while. Let's complete the line. From their shadowy coat. Coat, as we said, is the house of the doves, the shelter of the doves. Let's find a picture for it. Like this. Coat of doves. Something like this, for example. Sure, this is not 100% natural, but it looks like the natural one. What is the most part that appears from the dove here? If you look carefully, what is the most remarkable part in the dove that really appears? Even not in this picture, in most of the pictures, what is the most part that you can really look? It's very clear. While they are standing here, for example, what is the part that is really like clear enough for people to see? Not the white fur, part of the body. Their legs, no. Look, all of them at their chest. They look like they are doing gym. Look, they look like a muscular birds. Their chest, look. It's very clear. Look, it's very clear. Here, also it's very clear. Here, it's very clear. If you go over all of the pictures available on the website, you look here, even while they are laying down, still their chest is the biggest part of their body. This is the most part that really looks clear enough for people. So if they are inside, look here, for example, in the upper area, if they are inside their coat, what would be really clear enough? Their heads will be inside, but their chest will be outside, right? So look at the description of the writer for this part. It is brilliantly explained. I'm really amazed how he could do this. Listen. From their shadowy coat. Shadowy coat. Why shadowy, Mr. Waleed? Shadowy because they look like this. They have, we can say, a roof. The roof with the moonbeams going down will make shadow down over them, right? Okay. So, shadowy coat. The white breasts peep. The white breasts peep. What's the meaning of breasts? Or breasts? Breast is the chest. The breast is the chest. Yes, this part is called the breast. Of doves in silver feathered sleep. Feathered, silver feathered sleep. It means that they are sleeping. Usually they sleep while they are standing. So even while they are sleeping, what happened? They're feathered with all the colors, either they are black or white or whatever, they looked silver. But which part of their body looked? The breast. That's right, the chest. See? Perfect description from the writer. He really succeeded doing it actively and effectively, that you can even watch and see the picture without having it in front of you. But I wanted to bring you the picture because not all of you know them. So I had to bring you the picture to see. Now, getting back to the text, from their shadowy coat, the white breast peep of doves in silver feather sleep. A harvest mouse. A harvest mouse. One excellent student would tell me, what does this mean? A harvest mouse. Think of it. A harvest mouse. As you suggested, and as Yasmin suggested, a harvest mouse, they are the mice that live in the harvest time in farms. They are commonly also used as the farm mice. Farm mice, they are the mice that live in the harvest time or in farms. They are so much cleaner than any other kind of mice that you might find anywhere, because they just live on the grass, the vegetables that are in the farms, and they live on the insects. So they are a little bit like cleaner than any other parts or kinds. So a harvest mouse goes scampering by. Scampering by. What is the meaning of scampering? 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 Think of it, scampering. Yes, that is right. Scampering is to run in a hurry, but in light steps. And the only animal who can do this is the mouse. The mouse runs very fast, but in light steps. I can guess that sometimes his leg doesn't touch the ground. Just jumps quickly, running fast, but without pressing. Yes, kind of jogging. Yeah, scampering by. With silver clothes, usually the clothes of the mouse is the most clear part of his body. They are very shiny. So when the light went down of the moon, they made his clothes silver, and silver eyes. Usually his eyes also are very clear. And moveless fish in the water gleam by silver reeds in a silver stream. Even the fish is affected with the moon. They became silver in a silver stream. Even the water became silver. Guys, this writer really, really likes the moon. He finds the moon everywhere. He finds the moon in every image, in every element of nature. He is in real deep love with the moon. Now, this is a very quick explanation to the text. It is really important to understand every single word. Quickly, I'm going to show you an explanation to the poem as a summary. In this poem, Silver, the poet Walter de Lamery describes the visible effects of moonlight on countryside at night. As the moon walks silently over the human settlements below, everything turns silver. It moves over the trees, making them appear silver. The silver beams of moon is reflecting on the window. It is also reflecting of the sleeping dog's paws in the dog house. The moon is reflecting of the sleeping dove's chest. It is also reflecting on Harvest Mouse's clothes and eyes, which is running. The motionless fish and water of a stream turn silver by the moonlight. That is an explanation done to summarize the idea of the poem. Now, do you now understand the poem? Do you think it was difficult? What do you think? Is it a lovely poem? Did you like the poem? Tell me, yes or no. Did you like the poem? I really liked it too, by the way. I rarely read poems, However, that's part of my duty. I read poems, but I rarely read a poem and I like it. So I liked it. Mahmoud says, I hate it. Why, dear? That's a nice one. Okay, now this is the time to discuss together the rhyming of the poem. I would like you to tell me now your answer. What is the rhyming of the poem here? Okay. Moon, shoon, AA. Seas, trees, BB. Catch, thatch, CC. Log, dog, DD. Peep, sleep, EE. By, I, FF. Gleam, stream, JG. Excellent, year 6. You have done great. That is correct. As you all suggested, that is the rhyming scheme. So every 2 lines have the same rhyming. Now the call is gonna drop. We should meet then. Thank you for your active listening. That was our session for this part, explaining the text. If you have any further questions, we will discuss it later. Thank you so much. Waiting for you back in the next session with the same link.